Buongiorno, buenos dias, welcome, good morning. Here we are, Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta West London, continuing with the reading of Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta. Currently in Antya-līlā, chapter 5. And then we're with Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri, and Swarup Damodar has been given a poem by, does anyone remember who? Some Brahmana. Was there a name of the Brahmana? I can't remember. It's a little way back, so I'm not going to find it. Huh? No. Now there's been some Brahmana who was given a poem to Swarup Damodar to read to see whether it's suitable to offer to Mahaprabhu. And all the Brahmanas were all very happy with this poem, and Swarup Damodar was very angry because he was saying there were so many faults within the poem. Like? Huh?
I can't remember the name.
A play. Okay, what are you saying? No?
It was a play.
It was a play. The poem was a play. Or you mean the act?
The piece of writing is a play.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so, and one of the points was that the poet had made some mention in his poem, his play apparently, that Jagannath had a material body, a material form, and Mahaprabhu also had some sort of indication of that he had some material form and that he was somehow liberating people from or becoming, what was it?
Well, because Swarup Damodar started off saying, like, before he read the play, because he kept on, for 3 days, he kept on asking, read it, and Swarup Damodar actually was saying, you know, in order to be a good writer, you need to understand all these different types of composition and use of different phrasing and descriptions, and so when
I don't remember any of this. This was great.
Yeah, so when he came to actually read the play, then lo and behold, like, he's glorifying Jagannath and saying basically that Mahaprabhu had come and given life to the form of Jagannath, and the devotees were like, oh, so wonderful, because sounds like he's glorifying
Jagannath.
Mahaprabhu.
Yeah.
And then Swarup Damodar, that's why he was so angry, because it was incorrect. Like, he was trying to say something beautiful, but actually in doing that he was basically saying,
you've compared
inadvertently that the body of the Lord was dull, dull inert material matter. And so Swarup Damodar, obviously, like, he was enraged by that, and now he's going to go into a big long description about how that's just cannot be. The Lord is permanently full of all transcendental qualities of bliss, complete within himself. It's not like, and they're independently, Jagannath and Mahaprabhu. It's not like Mahaprabhu is going to come now and suddenly
Jagannath is going to be
more to Jagannath.
Hmm.
Anyway.
Okay, great, excellent summary. So yes, there's been.
In which text? Which number?
Well, right now we are. I don't know. I've just been going back and looking at it and rereading how enraged Swarup Damodar was and saying all sorts of things like you will attain a hellish destination and you are condemned and all these things for making these comments. And then now we are at text 123, more or less.
Antya-līlā chapter
5.
5.
Text 124 actually. So I'll just read quickly the last two verses before we start with today's verse, which is 124. Jai Jai Śrī Caitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jai Gaura Bhaktavinda. I think Kelly Kadamba should read, she's doing it all. See, I'm a terrible reader. Okay, at no time is there a distinction between the body and the soul of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His personal identity and his body are made of blissful spiritual energy. There is no distinction between them. There is no distinction between the body and the soul of the Supreme Personality of Godhead at any time. Okay, today's text starting 124. There's lots of... It's a big verse, so excuse my poor recitation. Ata param parama yad bhagavata svarupam anandamatram avikalpam avidhavachaha pasyami vishvasujam ekam aishvam atman bhutendriyatmaka badas ta upasriktosmi tadva idam bhuvana mangala mangalai jane smatno darshitam ta upasakanam tasmai namo bhagavate nuvidhema tobhyam yani nadito naraka bhagbir asat prasangahai. Okay, so these verses are from Srimad Bhagavatam. O my Lord, I do not see a form superior to your present form of eternal bliss and knowledge. In your impersonal Brahman effulgence in the spiritual sky, there is no occasional change and no deterioration of internal potency. I surrender unto you because, whereas I am proud of my material body and senses, your Lordship is the cause of the cosmic manifestation. Yet you are untouched by matter. This present form, or any transcendental form expanded by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is equally auspicious for all the universes. Since you have manifested this eternal personal form upon whom your devotees meditate, I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Those who are destined to be dispatched to the path of hell neglect your personal form because of speculating on material topics. Okay, it's pretty heavy. I was thinking about that this morning. I was thinking about something this morning which this just reminded me of. You know, I'm here we're saying I'm proud of my material body and senses. That so many of us in our life, we become so obsessed with our own abilities. People are climbing mountains and doing these things and really yeah, you've got to go really hard and push past the pain and to achieve something. But what anyone can achieve in this world is so insignificant when you also consider that the atom, you split the atom, what happens? Massive explosions, right? And we are made up of billions of these atoms, right? So we have our bodies have that within them, that sort of capacity, but it's so negligible compared to the Lord. The Lord has created everything and everyone, and it's all, and we can't even access all of the power that's within our form. And no matter what we do to try and show that or express that, it's still such a pathetic nothing compared to the Lord's glory. Anyway.
And then what did you just say there?
Which bit?
Just recap that last sentence.
Well, the sentence that I just read, or the actual end of the...
Yeah, just the end of that translation.
Those who are destined to be dispatched to the path of hell, this one. Neglect your personal form because of speculating on material topics. Anyway, the thing that I was reading was, I surrender unto you because whereas I am proud of my material body and senses, your Lordship is the cause of the cosmic manifestation. So that was halfway through the sloka. Okay, excuse my foolish interruptions. Kahan Punandaishvarya Krishna Mayeshwar Kahan Kshudra Jiva Dukhi Mayara Kinkar Whereas Krishna, the absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is full of transcendental bliss, possesses all 6 spiritual opulences in full, and is the master of the material energy, the small conditioned soul who is always unhappy is the servant of the material energy.
Can we remember the 6 opulences below? Beauty, fame, wealth, pastimes with his devotee,
Renounced
beauty, fame, wealth, pastimes,
Renunciation.
opulence, renunciation. Yeah. He has. You said it. Renunciation.
Okay, do we have 6? Uh-oh. Okay, so now there is a verse found in Sridhar Swami's Bhavartika Deepika. Hlādinīya samvidashilishta sachidananda ishvara savidya samvrito jiva sanklesha nikarakara. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Controller, is always full of transcendental bliss and is accompanied by the potencies known as hlādinī and samvit. The conditioned soul, however, is always covered by ignorance and embarrassed by the threefold miseries of life. Thus he is a treasure house of all kinds of tribulations. A treasure house of tribulations. Shuni Shaba Sadera Chite Haila Chamatkar Satchagahe Gosai Duhara Karyache Tiraskar. Hearing this explanation, all the members of the assembly were struck with wonder. Swarup Damodar Goswami has spoken the real truth, they admitted. The Brahmana from Bengal has committed an offence by wrongly describing Lord Jagannath and Lord Śrī Caitanya-Mahaprabhu. Shuniya Kavira Haila Lajabaya Vishmai Hangsamaje Bakajaiche Kichunahikai. When the Bengali poet heard this chastisement from Swarup Damodar Goswami, he was ashamed, fearful and astonished. Indeed, being like a duck in a society of white swans, he could not say anything. Oh, funny analogies. Tara dukkha deki swarupa sadai hridai upadesha koyatare yaiche hitahai. Seeing the poet's unhappiness, Swarup Damodar Goswami, who was naturally very kind-hearted, advised him so that he could derive some benefit. Jaha Bhagavata Pada Vaishnavirastane Ekanda Ashraya Kari Chaitanya Charane. If you want to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, he said, you must approach a self-realized Vaishnava and hear from him. You can do this when you have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Must read the Bhagavatam under the guidance of the Vaishnava. You know, we were talking about that the other day, right? That was that personality who was a Shrutidar. He knew the entire Bhagavatam, 18,000 verses. But his conception of what was the absolute, was the 4 Kumaras and Guru Maharaj within 2 slokas. From the Bhagavatam, which this person knew, completely adjusted his awareness, his consciousness, so you can know the whole thing off by heart and still not even know what the point of the thing is that you're knowing.
Guru Maharaj, you said?
Guru Maharaj, yeah. Adjusted.
During his preaching time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Defeated.
Yeah.
And what were the 2 slokas?
Oh well, we'll have to do our homework.
Well, I forget the first one. The second one was it was about Uddhava.
Oh, right.
But then Uddhava aspiring to take the
dust of the gopis' feet on his head. He wanted to take birth in Vrindavan as a blade of grass. Yeah. And what was the first?
Was it Narayan? Maybe? Anyway,
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
sure. I'm not sure.
Guessing. We're guessing.
I'm not sure about the first one.
Okay. Chaitanya Bhaktaganera Nityakar Sangha Taveta Janiva Siddhanta Samudra Taranga. Swarup Damodar continued, associate regularly with the devotees of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, for then only will you understand the waves of the ocean of devotional service. Tabeta Panditya Tomar Haibe Sapal Krishnara Sarupalila Vanibanimal. Only if you follow the principles of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees will your learning be successful. Then you will be able to write about the transcendental pastimes of Krishna without material contamination. Shloka Karyacha Paya Santosha Tomara Hridayera Arte Dunhaya Lagedosha. You have composed this introductory verse to your great satisfaction, but the meaning you have expressed is contaminated by offences to both Lord Jagannath and Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Oh, he can't help himself, can he? He's going to continue to tell him where he's been foolish. What mercy? Getting chastised by Swarup Damodar. Tumi jaiche saiche kaha najani ariti saraswati se shabde karyache stuti. You have written something irregular, not knowing the regulative principles. But the goddess of learning, Saraswati, has used your words to offer her prayers to the Supreme Lord. Okay. Jaiche Indra Daityadi Kare Krishnara Bhartsana Se Shabde Saraswati Karina Stavan. Sometimes demons and even Lord Indra, the king of heaven, chastised Krishna, but Mother Saraswati, taking advantage of their words, offered prayers to the Lord. Pachalang balisham stabdam argyang panditamaninam krishnang mrityang upasritya gopamit chakrur apriyam. Lord Indra said, this Krishna, who is an ordinary human being, is talkative, childish, impudent and ignorant, although he thinks himself very learned. The cowherd men in Vrindavan have offended me by accepting him. This has not been greatly appreciated by me. That was a verse from the Bhagavatam. Okay. Aishvajamade matta indra jena mattayola buddhina shaharila kevala nahika sambala. Indra, the king of heaven, being too proud of his heavenly opulences, became like a madman. Thus, bereft of his intelligence, he could not restrain himself from speaking nonsensically about Krishna. Indrabale Muni Krishnera Karyachi Nindan Tarai Mukhe Saraswati Koena Stavan. Thus Indra thought, I have properly chastised Krishna and defamed him. But Saraswati, the goddess of learning, took this opportunity to offer prayers to Krishna. Vachalakahiye Veda Parvatakadanya Balishatapi Shishupraya Garva Shunya. The word Vachala is used to refer to a person who can speak according to Vedic authority, and the word Balisha means innocent. Krishna spoke the Vedic knowledge, yet he always presents himself as a prideless, innocent boy. Panjabave anamra stabdha stabde kai jaha hoite anya vigya nahi se agya hoy. When there is no one else to receive obeisances, one may be called anamra, or one who offers obeisances to no one. This is the meaning of the word stabda. And because no one is found to be more learned than Krishna, he may be called Agya, indicating that nothing is unknown to him. Okay, we're getting into confusing poetry rules here. Panditera manya patsahaya pandita mani tatapi bhakta vatsalye manusya abhimani. The word pandita mani can be used to indicate that Krishna is honoured even by learned scholars. Nevertheless, because of affection for his devotees, Krishna appears like an ordinary human being and may therefore be called Martya. Jarasandha kahe Krishna Purusha Adam Tora Sangina Jai Bandhuvan. The demon Jarasandha chastised Krishna, saying, "You are the lowest of human beings. I shall not fight with you, for you killed your own relative." Jahahoti Anandiji Miśra Sakala Adam Devaya Purusha Dhamma Saraswati Tiramana. Father Saraswati takes Purusha Dhamma to mean Purushottam, he to whom all men are subordinate. Vande Savari Sakte Abhijya Bandhuhai Abhijana Sakta Bandhuhan Saktekar. Nessie or Maya may be called Bandhu because she entangles everyone in the material world. Therefore, by using the word Bandhuhan, Mother Saraswati says that Lord Krishna is the vanquisher of Maya. Because he's trying to describe how Saraswati makes the things that appear to be incorrect or untrue, she makes them true, like Krishna. Also many personalities, like for example, he's explaining how this child has said wrong things, and okay, well, we can make them right by, thinking about Saraswati, by altering the meaning by Saraswati, and all these different things, and we've seen examples of these personalities and forces of Krishna by Saraswati. Vishnupad also blasphemed Krishna in this way, but the goddess of learning, Saraswati, offered her prayers to Krishna even by Jesus. In that way, although your verse is blasphemous according to your meaning, Mother Saraswati was taking advantage of it to offer prayer to God. So then stop we'll see if you can do it. Almost at the don't have dual minds, then Lord. Yes, sometimes if there's only some sort of reference, then we go. You have to be very specific about the way that you frame the question. Exactly, that's right. Yeah. It's still learning. It's a baby. Okay, so we're going with Maharaj. In the section the illumination of the substance. Don't be afraid. Outwardly you may feel a horrible pain of separation, but internally you will feel an unparalleled type of love, the most pleasing feeling of his joy. Externally there may be pain of separation, but internally there is the greatest satisfaction. In this way we are advised by the scriptures, and our practice experience corroborates our faith in this SCSMath. The English poet Shelley has written, our sincerest laughter gives spontaneous thought, our sweetest songs are those that tell satisfaction. When we are reading an epic where there is clear separation between hero and heroine, it is so sweet to us that although we shed tears, still we cannot leave it. When we hear about the pains of integrating, how Rāmānanda dances for a lead to uncertain although tears we cry, that is very painful. We shed tears, but still we read on. There is sweetness within pain. It is possible. Separation from Krishna is like that. The special characteristic of Krishna prema is this. The special characteristic of Krishna prema is this. Externally we feel intense like love, but internally our heart is filled with some extraordinary satisfaction. This is what Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta has given us. As much as we can catch the meaning of Krishna's suffering, we should be prepared for that kind of life. This is the fair to go to the hereafter. And when we are introduced to so many others like us, then our joy knows no bounds. When we meet others who have the same nature and mind as us, we get solace from them. We need not be afraid. In spite of all these things, we should think firmly that there is our home, and we should want to go back to God, back to God. We are not foreigners here. Here we are foreigners. Every man treats me in any way that he likes, but Vrindavan is most hopeful and full of high prospects. It is the place of inner satisfaction. We aspire after that. We cannot but continue aspiring for our real home. What is real joy and ecstasy? We are not acquainted with it. This is our sacred place. Inasmuch as we convert to Krishna consciousness, we should become conscious of it is the sister love of Vrindavan. Worldly pleasure was as much interest that now, with any mundane taste that comes in my memory, my face becomes displeased and I sit. So if you get a slight taste of that ecstasy, then at once you see that there can be no that at the same time, once we are settled in that atmosphere, no pain can destroy our presence. There is another side also. Although we are advised to be prepared for painful separation, the fact is not so true in reality. Krishna says, I am always with my devotion. Wherever there is an exclusive devotion, Krishna is there like his shadow, always invisibly moving after him. This is the Lord. I am the slave of my devotion. I have no freedom apart from their will. Because they are completely pure and devoted to me, my heart is controlled by them, and I reside always in their heart. I am dependent not only on my devotion, but even on the servants of my devotion. Even the servants of my devotion are dear to me. We must be prepared for any unfavorable circumstance, but we must not be discouraged. Krishna is most affectionate. His care towards us is most affectionate. His affection towards us is no rival. Still, Srila Mahaprabhu has given us a warning in this verse. You are coming to search after Krishna. Krishna is not a street ball from the market that you can purchase. You are trying to attain the highest of the high, so you must be prepared for anything. At the same time, the devotees who come to us say, have no fear, we are all like you. Let us all walk together in a straight line. Don't be afraid, we are here. We are told that Krishna's devotees are even more sympathetic like their Krishna himself. The source of our life and our fortune is his devotion. And Krishna says, my Antya-līlā. One who is a servant of my service is my real servant. Sadhu-sangha, the association of saints, is the most important and valuable thing. To make advancement and progress towards the infinite, our association is of God. This is all important. We must stick to this conclusion. The conclusion has been given in this book that all perfection can be attained by per-association. Good association is our greatest wealth in reaching eternal God. Servant of the servant, servant of the
Be with me.